You got questions? Jay Wayne got answers. It's the Jay Wayne Q&A show.
Hey, Jay Wayne, trade to get paid. Hey, Jay Wayne, he got the answers. Q&A. Jay Wayne, hey, Jay Wayne, Q&A.
Is it 30-minute candle or 15-minute candle that has to close inside your zone before you close the trade? Can you show a chart example to where you would close the trade using your stop loss method? So is it the 30-minute candle? Is it the 30-minute candle or the 15-minute candle? The 15-minute candle, because I'm putting a stop loss on the 15-minute. If you put your stop loss on a 30-minute and that's where you based it off of, then do that. But I'm putting my stop loss based on the 15-minute. So I'm watching it getting stopped out on the 15-minute. But that's if I put the hard one in. If I put the soft one in, well, now you flip around different time frames, right? You flipping around 30, you flipping around an hour, and you be like, oh, this thing is looking like it's just pulling back a little bit. But it's looking like I see wicks starting to form up. It was pulling back. Now I'm starting to see wicks on a higher time frame. You don't see them on a 15-minute. All right, let me slow down. Understand what I'm saying? You don't see those wicks, the bigger picture on a 15-minute. But for some reason, you happen to go to the hour chart and now you see wicks pushing everything down. Yes, it's pulling back on you a little bit, but overall, you're starting to see like little wicks starting to form. So, well, then you're not getting stopped out on the 15-minute in that situation. You won't be getting stopped out. You will be looking at it on a 15-minute, but you'll be looking at the hour. Once that hour is no longer showing those wicks, or the 30-minute, whatever time frame you saw those wicks on, once that's not holding up, you following me? Once that's looking like, oh no, this is not going through, like this is not going to work. The 30-minute, it looked like it was holding, but no, something is pushing the buyers back in. The buyers coming in, pushing the candles up. This is not working out. Go back to the 15-minute and look and find a way to close that trade out. It probably will be up by your stop loss area or a little bit above it. Close it out. Close it out. Because once you really get good, D-Rod, it won't take you long to know if your trade is going to be a winner or not. Like once you start getting good, as in terms of you knowing when to wait, when to wait for those wicks to show up at your retest zone, waiting for those candles to print out, and then you find an entry. It shouldn't never really go back 25 pips the other way. If it does, that's more likely a loser anyway. Like, do you guys understand what I'm saying a little bit? Have you ever experienced that when you really waited for everything? Yeah, it may have pulled back. Ain't not all I'm gonna be perfect. It may have pulled back, but not like 30 pip pullback. You know, it pulled back to a little spot, kind of stood there, and you had to stay up till 5 o'clock in the morning, and then it took off. You had the right trade, you had the right direction. It was just it just wasn't time for it to really take off at that moment. But it never really pulled back 25, 30 pips. And a lot of times when we wait for the zones to be broken or whatever you waiting for, it usually not 30 minutes, an hour later is you taking profit. So once you really get good at it, you know, you'll be able to time it. It won't even be going that far deep like that. But you probably just still working on the other concepts that we're teaching. So you going through this stuff. It's okay. Just letting you know what to look, what to expect soon once you master it. It won't even be like that. And just so you know, when it does get like that, it's pretty much going to be a loser anyway. 30-minute candle close inside your zone before you close your trade. So I think I explained that. Is it the 30-minute? So yeah, and most of the time though, you can just look at the 15-minute D-Rod. Keep it very simple. Look at the 15-minute. If it closes your stop loss, just take it. My stuff, I'm giving you different. I'm not giving you, it's not black and white though. this trading stuff is not black and white. I know you want black and white answers. The quicker you understand that, the quicker you like won't be so frustrated, or you'll be like, okay, it could be A, B, or C. But if you're mentally not ready for all of that, 15-minute, find that stop loss. If it breaks it, cut it. Cut it and reassess. It's that simple, like that. No 30-minute, 15-minute. Regarding your gold trade that you mentioned in past videos that did not move in your intended direction, can you explain what you did wrong regarding it not working so that we can all learn something deeper from that? Something deeper. You want something deeper. Let me see. Can I tell you something deeper? Of course, all based on what you learned. So look at this. So D-Rod, look, so here's what's deeper. Bro, I traded during the daytime, like around 10, 11 o'clock. All right. I traded during 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. That's not my trading time. I don't master the markets at that time. I really don't know the ebb and flows of the market. I know, talk to me about London. I'm starting to really master the beginning of New York, but talk to me about London. I tell you everything. Because I spent 6 years mastering the London session. I know what it's going to do. I know how I fake you out. I know everything almost. Like, I don't say I know everything, but I know a whole lot. So I'm up 10, 11 o'clock. The deeper knowledge behind the D-Rod is don't trade a session you don't study. It's simple as that. Facts. Don't trade a session you don't study. You like, come on, stop being so greedy for money. You're gonna be broke, really. So what else did he say? It didn't go in my direction. Oh yeah, follow your rules. It always come back to that. The rules that we teach, D-Rod, it's gonna keep you from blowing your money. Forex is people be thinking like Forex, oh man, Forex is hard, Forex is fast. Oh, you're going to lose your money. They lost all their money because they're not following the things we teach. I was with an Uber driver and I told him that I did Forex or whatever. We got on a conversation. He lost over $100,000. And as much money as I lost before, I can see how that's possible. You type in a stupid lot size, and your broker give you a lot of margin, you're done. You toast, man. And it's sad. And he's sitting in the Uber. 60 something years old, probably 50 something, maybe sitting in an Uber driving as what it is. And it didn't have to be that way. So D-Rod, it don't have to be that way for you. All right. It don't have to be that way. So all you have to do is don't trade a session that you don't study. For the last 3, 4, 5 months, you've been trading London. Don't trade to New York then. You're not ready for that. It's a different flow. It's a different flow, different timing, different look, different way the candles move, different way the candles close. You trying to take all of that knowledge you got from London session and pull it over to New York. That ain't going to work like that. It ain't going to work flawlessly at all, I don't think. Oh, in London session, I wait for this doji candle and then usually this happens. And then you're going to try to do that in New York and it doesn't do it. So that's what I did. And then I traded and then I didn't follow my rules. I'm like, surely it's going to go halfway to the golden zone and drop again. So I'm taking a sell. And D-Rod, ask yourself, am I getting in at a good price point? I don't know why I never asked myself that. It seemed like it's simple. I'm going to keep telling you guys this until you finally really break through with it, because that's what kept me from taking the sell when it didn't break the 23.6. I said, I don't like where I'm getting in the market. I don't feel like wrestling with this. It's not my ideal setup. It's not really what I like. So I didn't even trade it. I got in on gold when it was already pushing low. Then I thought it was kind of pulling back. You see a little green candle pop up somewhere, like, oh, this must be the low point. And something like that. And I was like, and then it started going higher. I'm like, oh, okay, it's fine. It's going to stop at the golden zone because it was a big red drop, big drop. pulling back. Oh, it'll stop at the golden zone. It always, you know, for this type of big movement, surely it'll just stop here and come back, give me some of my money back, right? Nope, didn't do that. Broke through the golden zone. I'm $26,000 in the hole now in a matter of 30 minutes. You know, dumbest thing ever. Dumbest thing ever. So D-Rod, that's just the deep thing right there. Just don't do it. And it really ain't deep, it's simple. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. I'm telling you, things that I'm doing now, D-Rod, now here's the deep thing right here. What was the lessons learned? Here's the deep thing right here. Every night before I go to bed, I go on my phone and go on my notepad, and I read to myself. This is always changing, but it's according to whatever I need in the time. And I read to myself, don't be desperate for trades. Wait for price to come to you. And whatever I feel like I'm really struggling with, I'll read it 5 times. I said, follow the rules. Wait for price to come to you. Wait for it to break the zone. Check the heat wave. Check the news. All right. And I got my notes or whatever. So I read that to myself over and over. People may need to fold their legs the opposite way and light a candle and, you know, meditate on it. But I just go right before I go to bed and right where I'm trading, I read that to myself over and over. Because I got to get somewhere. So that's what I do. So if that's probably the deep part, but just do it, man. Whatever it takes.